Anyway, so maps are everywhere, and that's a really good thing. It's changed the face of geography, and it's made maps miles more accessible to actual normal people. But as I start moving from the newfangled thing into the norm, we really start to understanding what we're doing and thinking about it. Analytics. Everyone has analytics on their website if they care about it. And that allows us to get actual data about what people do, where they come from, how they move around our site, and where they end up going to. And I have a fly. And lately, design's been looked at in the same way. So now we can look at it and say, is a green button better than an orange button? Do people click on places we never expected them to click on? Does anyone actually read the second half of our pages? Or do they just stick around at the top? And what analytics gives us is really rich insights into what makes our websites work. It allows us to understand what people are doing. It allows us to make a change and see whether it's better or not, measurably better. We've got to start doing the same thing for our maps. Here's a bakery website. You want to find out your nearest bakery. Has anyone ever wanted to find out a bakery in satellite view? This guy has. Awesome. So they're justified. And we've got a whole bunch of things we can start doing, but one of them is simplifying things. And so in terms of that, we want to start making decisions for our users rather than just putting all the exciting newfangled toys on the website. We've got to start thinking, what user experience can we actually deliver? What can we make better? And we've got a whole bunch of different things we can look at here. Our websites have lots of things we can interact with, lots of actions, and our maps go the same way. They have lots of different things we can do, and we can measure. So the first place to start is, what does the user do when they see a map on your website? Do they zoom? Do they pan? Do they click a marker? Do they do nothing at all? And so that's, I guess, the first part of looking at what we can measure and what we can analyze. If they zoomed in, can we do that for them? Can we figure out which city they're in and save them a few clicks on a map? If I'm ordering a pizza and I'm in Sydney, I don't want to see pizza places in Melbourne. Just show me the Sydney ones. Can we remove some of the stuff from our screen? Do we need an overview map? Do we need satellite view, or terrain, or street view, or traffic view, or zooming, or panning? Which bits do we actually need? Which bits do the user actually need? And while designers can sit there and come up with cool icons for every single conceivable thing you could put on a map, is the user actually going to understand the little blobs? And the answer is probably not. Figure out which ones work, measure it, and do it again. Our info windows are like little pages. We need to be looking at them in the same way we look at our other pages on our website. We've got to figure out which design elements work, where people go to, do they come back again, and treating them just like the other pages on our site. And so if we start taking away some of these knobs and buttons, it may come as a shock, but do we actually need to have interactive maps everywhere? We'll get paid for it, but maybe we don't. We could deliver static maps, they'd be faster, we'd get better credibility, and people like Google and OpenStreetMap are quite happy to give us sexy looking maps that look pretty good but don't actually do anything. But we can power them up and turn them into interactive maps if somebody actually wants to use it. So one of the numbers we could start looking at is the bounce rate. How many people go to your pages with maps on them and then never actually touch the map? If not many people are using it, let's make it faster. The second thing to look at is time. How long between people loading a map page and when they first touch the map? How important is the map to what else is on the page? And how long from then until they actually click a marker? How long do they spend finding the right part of the world that's what interests them? Here's a visualization of 50,000 odd map views of a data layer we have on coordinates. And so you can see the areas where people are more interested in. Why are they more interested in those places?
They live there.
Maybe it is because they live there. Maybe it's because they work there. We've got to figure this out. There's some boxes in the middle. That's where people have just zoomed in for the sake of zooming. Why are they doing that? Are they going to see more that's there? Or do they just have a fascination for that area of the world?
That's the center of the map.
Exactly. So what I've been trying to do here is plant a seed, and that's about figuring out what we're actually doing here, understanding, starting to do some map analytics, and think about what we're doing, and being able to measure it. And if people are interested, come and find me and talk to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Coup.